Haiti story, take one. Back in 2010, I went over to Haiti after the earthquake. I wanted to go help, so I went over with an organization called Medical Mission Adventures, and we worked in a clinic doing emergency health care and ambulance transportation for about a week. The following week, I went to go volunteer at a field hospital in the Port-au-Prince airport. So a giant tent set up by University of Miami, and I just showed up as a medical provider, and I got to go help because they need help, and that's the objective of medical missions, to go help. One day I remember this one fella came in, and he wanted me to look at something. He was kind of secretive about it. He was a little embarrassed. He took me off to the side and he showed me. He had swollen giant testicles. They were crushed by something in the earthquake, and ever since then they were just getting inflamed and swollen, like gigantic. And I couldn't imagine the pain this guy was going through, and he was ashamed about it. So I kept it secret, but I provided him a doctor who could actually help him more so than I could in that area. He took him somewhere more private and inspected the guy and drained the excess fluid out of his private parts. The guy felt a million times better. Pain went away, and he came up to me to thank me afterwards. And he was leaving, and we were communicating so because his English was so, and moi parle français a petit Creole. I only spoke like a very little bit Creole. I couldn't understand conversation in that language very well. But he was saying thank you, and he said he was going back. And I said, "Oh, where are you living?" And he just pointed to fields, to tents. I think he was sharing a tent at that time with, I think, his mother and grandmother and siblings, all in one tent. And he looked at me, and I had a tent, and I wasn't going to use it anymore, at least for that trip. So I gave him my REI tent, and he thanked me and went away and never saw me again. Just the satisfaction that I got out of being able to help somebody, being able to have somebody come to me, confide in me something very personal and painful that they were experiencing, how he was suffering, and then I was able to intervene and help him get that situation fixed. And then on top of it, giving him my tent, because he's somebody who needs it a lot more than me. Who knows, they may still have it. Hopefully they're in a house now, but I will never be able to tell. Because in a lot of situations, when you're doing disaster response, you intervene, you go, you help as much as you can, and sometimes you can stay in touch, but most of the time it's not really possible to get in touch with them afterwards, and you have no idea where somebody goes. But for that one moment in time, you can make a difference. Anybody giving care, giving love, giving support that otherwise wouldn't be given can help one other person in the world, and that's what it's about. Giving love, giving support, helping one other person, and sharing a smile, giving them love that they won't get anywhere else.